Hi, I'm Ron de Jesús, choreographer for CLAVOS, which means 1,000 nails, based on a little fact that there are tons of mini nails embedded in the heels and tips of each pair of flamenco shoes. I approach each ballet as an individual path to a work of art. Each ballet carries its own emotions, concepts, and definitions. I knew I wanted to create a work that was meaningful for Ensemble Español, a gift that, in terms of my depth of love and appreciation, I had for my first professional mentor and artistic director, Libby Carmichael Fleming, as I knew her then.
Watching Ron work with the dancers was exciting. The way he interacted with them was straightforward. Give me this, give me that. Try this, try that. Movement that was unlike anything they had experienced before. It was a refreshing new style, a style that would have its challenges.
The dancers hit my refresh button of optimism, confidence, and this is why I love the company and the art form so much. The entire company had become my cheerleaders and support team. Just amazing and humble human beings. Their actions were beyond anything I could imagine, and I was grateful. I felt like prodigal son had returned.
We immediately began work with the musical selections, and what made it extra special was we were able to share with Dame Libby her thoughts on which music she really enjoyed, and so that really made this project even more special.
I also was lucky enough to find 3 daring and passionate composers, 2 Italian and 1 from Finland. They were instrumental vehicles that helped me to organize my chaotic ideas and choreographic concepts. I knew I wanted the ballet to reflect all the layers of impactful beauty that flamenco had to offer. When I was very young and a new dancer in ensemble back in the 80s, they educated me with the entire new language of communication through the art form of flamenco. This hit me like a bolt of lightning. I have to say it was profoundly influential of understanding the power of masculinity. And I truly believe it influenced the opening section. I decided to approach the work and break it down into 3 sections. This helped to release some of the pressures of delivering a successful work. I started the ballet with the strongest 3 leading men. They were known for their control, sharpness, and precision within the company. They were God sent to me with their respect, kindness, and generosity in the creative process in the studio. The 3 male dancers came from the depths of darkness from upstage, dressed not in traditional flamenco costumes. I had the men in military jackets that had a little flare of a skirt on the hip level and leather-looking slacks.
The overall look of the men's costumes has a steampunk feel and really captures the aesthetic of the 1,000 nails and brings together the time-honored tradition and modern sensibility look that the choreographer was reaching for. Honestly, this has been one of my favorite pieces to costume.
All the men carried off of one shoulder as they made their entrance a long, thick white rope representing labor and power, struggle perhaps, of a strong journey. I left that alone and I let the audience find their answers within that observation. And then I introduced 2 more men to join them, until ultimately there were 5 men who moved like a pack of wolves. At that point, they released a machine gun artillery of rhythmical footwork, a wicked display of strong synergy. Now, unexpectedly, out of nowhere, we get swept up in the dramatic lush chords of strings, and this is where I introduced 2 female dancers. I dressed them in a Georgia O'Keeffe burnt orange dress, not a typical palette for flamenco.
I remember during fittings for the red dresses, necklines got lower and leg slits got higher.
I was breaking all kinds of rules here.
I also remember Ron saying, I want the girls to wear halter top dresses. I think it's sexy.
It was nice to see them in backless dresses, and a slit up one leg was very sexy, yet not overbearing and not disrespectful. You saw their chiseled muscularity these goddesses had to offer, and they moved like doves fluttering their hands, emulating Libby's outstanding castanets. I then shifted the third and final movement with the music just wickedly beautiful. Hence why I had Julia portray this uncontrollable witch. She was a beast and I loved her for going there. I guess you pull from your own references, and my mother was schizophrenic. Maybe this creeped in for some odd reason. Who knows? Or should I say, why not? Julia was brilliant, and I absolutely love the commitment of this artist.
To further help the dancers understand where he was coming from with his movement, he'd share a short story or simply say, "I want you to imagine this."
Ultimately, the dancers resulted in a more unified set of choreographic composition that folded and weaved into one another with a sharp focus and solid direction that is easily one of ensemble's finest abilities mastered.
I was fortunate to be able to document photographically the creation of Milk CLAVOS. I do find the rehearsal photos in the studio to be more compelling. They're more intimate and they're personal. And the one thing that I hope comes across the most is how Ron was very active and involved in setting the piece. He's not one of those choreographers that sits and calls out directions and cues. He's very hands-on. And when he's working with the dancers, he's very respectful of the ensemble Espanol dancers, maybe from his history also. He never talked down to them. He was always raising them up.
It was fun, and they gave me the platform to exercise that muscle and see if I could choreograph a flamenco piece. I had never done it before, and I was grateful for them. I do have to say, on the final night of the rehearsals, the entire company stayed till 1:30 a.m. on my last night to finish the ballet before I had to catch a flight then early the next morning. Who does that?
He's been a fan of the ensemble and has been in awe of the level of work and of our productions. And so he knew that the work would involve this collaborative partnership.
They were so generous, again, in their commitment. I guess that's what you call family. I absolutely love them, and they are my inspirational tribe that I identify with. And I could not have been more blessed to have had an opportunity to give back to the garden that gave me so much as an artist, with much respect. I absolutely love Ensemble Espanol, and I hope to do more for them in the future. Thank you.